Hello, pretties. Welcome to Mozzarella. So today I have my project pen update. I know I did not have a video go up on Thursday. I hope you guys are okay with that. I was supposed to film last weekend, but my face was still really swollen from getting this side of my wisdom teeth taken out, and I was just like really embarrassed to get on camera. To be quite honest with you guys. But the swellen's gone down significantly. It's almost symmetrical. It's like this side is still slightly more swollen. So I'm filming my project pan today because I wanted to have this one as up to date as possible, if that makes sense. Um, Additionally, I will be filming like one or two more videos because I'm actually getting the other side of my face taken out, of my teeth taken out in like 2 weeks. So I'm trying to film a couple of videos today and a couple more videos next week because otherwise I'm not gonna get a chance to film them once this size goes out, because that was excruciatingly painful. Not necessarily the procedure of getting my wisdom teeth taken out, it was the recovery time. Oh my god, I lost 6 pounds in a week. I couldn't keep food down because I couldn't eat. I couldn't open my mouth. So I was eating like yogurts, applesauce, oatmeal. And like that didn't fill me up for shit. I was barely eating. I didn't feel like eating. I was like, I don't want to open my mouth. So I'm like, stomach, you're just gonna have to be okay with that. So it was a struggle, and like I said, I was just embarrassed. Like I wasn't in pain anymore, but it was just embarrassed because it was very swollen. And I just didn't want to look like a chipmunk, a lump-sided chipmunk in here. So anyway, here we are with my project pan update. A little late, but better late than never, right? Um, anyway, let's get started. So for primer, I have this one from Glow Recipe. I accidentally tipped it over, so I've been waiting for it to kind of like settle down. I don't know where I left my Sharpie. Here it is. I think I'm like, oh, of course I did that. I think I'm somewhere around right here. I'm still waiting for some of it to settle a little bit on the sides, but then on this side it's kind of like empty. So I'm hoping to settle somewhere around here, that's a really good update. And if I can keep this up, I think we're looking at about 2 more months tops, if not maybe one, if I'm like really really good this next month. I will say though, I did come to find out that this primer and this foundation that's also in my project pan, they don't play well together, to the point where I hated my base makeup every single time I wear these together. And yeah, I think it's a primer mixture. I think so I'm gonna try to play with other primers with this one on. But that all being said, I am gonna also add another foundation. I actually used this only like 3 times because like I said, I hated my makeup, so there's no really any change with these lines here. I'm gonna add another foundation into the project. I'm gonna keep this one on just to track progress, because again, I only have a couple of months where I can actually wear this, so my expectations are not very high with this, considering how much I've struggled. Like I really really dislike it. Was like peeling and it wasn't blending, and that's never an issue I had before with the foundation, so I'm a little concerned. But this is the foundation that I'm gonna add in. This is kind of where I'm at right now. Actually really like it. It's just not my favorite because it's a little heavier than what I'm normally used to, even though it's actually a really lightweight foundation compared to a lot of other foundations. Since I enjoy or prefer tinted moisturizers, this is a little heavier in comparison to that. So I kind of gonna have both of them in. This one is gonna have to go out in about a month and a half or so, because it's gonna get too hot for me to actually be able to wear this one. And then this one's gonna actually stay on. It's funny because this one's a little too light for me at this time. This one's a little too dark for me at this time. Fingers crossed. If I end up trying this foundation with a different primer and I still do not like my foundation, I think I may need to find a different way to use this powder. I will say though, I remember enjoying this last winter. So I think that's a little concerning because I did like it and I would use it quite a lot last winter. So I don't know that I don't know why I'm not liking it this winter if I liked it last winter. And I don't remember having any of these issues that I'm having now with the peeling and like the flaking and all that stuff. So I don't I don't know. I'm a little concerned. But I'm technically adding this one in. I'm keeping kind of this one in. I'm really just trying to make sure that I can find a way to make it work for me. But I can't keep only this one on because I really need to make progress on this primer and other stuff. Um, so this was gonna kind of just take a back burner. But I only used it like 4 times, so it wasn't a lot of use. I actually used this one more than that. So that's kind of where we're at with this. Okay. So good progress on the primer, not so good on the other one. Color corrector, you can't really see any progress because it was relatively new. I think I only had it open for a couple of weeks. Um, I'm if I open it and if I try to look for like separation, you can kind of start seeing a little bit of separation. I'm definitely forcing it, but I don't think we're gonna see much progress yet. Still next month, I think it's gonna take about 2 months for us to really start seeing progress and it being actually worn down. I will say though, I don't love it. I used to remember it being fine, but I think because I've been using my Sigma and my Natasha Denona color corrector, I can definitely tell the difference in formula. This just doesn't do a good job of like actually covering my dark circles in comparison to the other two. Um, so yeah, so we're just trying to finish this one. We're really just trying to finish it. Okay, color correct concealer. I have my um ColourPop Pretty Fresh Concealer, which is actually a little too dark for me right now, and I've never noticed how yellow it was until now, and I think it's because I've been using the Natasha Denona a lot, that was a very neutral in comparison to this, and now I'm then thinking about it, my Milani's a neutral undertone, and also my Rare Beauty's a neutral undertone. This is the only yellow or warm undertone concealer that I own, and it looks very yellow in comparison to the other two. Um, this was not new in the project pan. I definitely had a little bit of progress before, but again, you're not gonna really see a lot of progress on even on the sidelines. So this one's gonna be here for a while. I'm thinking around May-ish is when we might be to a point where it's really noticeable, and hopefully it'll be a little more tan at that time, so it'll be a little easier for me to use it. But I have been using it in contingent with my REM concealer because this one's actually a little too light, and it is actually quite neutral. It doesn't have as strong as a yellow base, so I'm able to kind of tone down that yellowness that I've been seeing. So that's been working really well. No concerns there. Let's see what else we got. We've got the eyeshadows. I actually used the Super Shock ones about 4 times so 4 or 5 times. So I think that's pretty good. Like I said, I really just trying to reach for them. So my goal is hopefully to try to hit pan on all of them, but I really just want to reach them because I know that these ones will eventually go bad. And then I had these other ones instead as well. This one's I need to like super glue the actual magnet to the palette, but like I said, I actually have pretty big dips on both of them. Um, it's hard to tell if I'm close to like hitting pan or not, to be honest. I feel like I'm probably not as close as I think I may be, but I'm reaching for these two. I'm waiting on them. I want to hit pan on these two first before I even try to reach for these. But overall, I'm enjoying it. It's fine. I've been reaching for these two shades a lot. But I'm only using this in like the inner corner and the brow bone, so that's gonna take a while to go through. And then this one I am using to like set my eyeshadow primer, although for a while I wasn't using it because I was doing that sample. So with this sample from Rare Beauty, I didn't need to set it. It was so good. You could just go straight in with like eyeshadow, so I didn't need to set this one, so I didn't use it as much as I could have if I was using my Milani one. That being said, I finished my little sample size. I will say though, where is it? The Pore Diffusing Primer was a fucking game changer. I'm gonna buy it as soon as I finish literally like all of my primers, because what it does is that I used to normally use 2 primers. I use my putty primer from e.l.f. to like fill in my pores that I have right here. I don't have a lot of like really like crazy pores, but right here it's a little noticeable. And I also use a primer similar to this, where it's more hydrating, and I would normally put that like all over my face to like more hydrating. But this was like the perfect like marriage of like both of them. And it did an even better job at like pore diffusing than the putty primer. So I think once I'm done with literally all my primers, this one's relatively new, so it's gonna take a while for me to be able to finish it. I do have a dip though. Once I'm finished with all of them, I'm gonna that's gonna be like my new holy grail, and that's gonna be like my only primer in my collection, and I'm perfectly fine with that because honestly, great job. It was so good. It was so good. The eyeshadow primer, I accidentally did not close this thing. I was doing a really good job of like making sure I put something on top, so it did end up drying out a little bit towards the end there. But honestly, I actually really enjoyed it, and I do plan on purchasing a full size. I just have a couple of other like primers that I want to get through, specifically my Milani one. And I think I may have a backup of this Milani already. If I do, I'm gonna have to finish that one. If I don't, I might be able to purchase it a little quicker. I'll have to double check. But yeah, as soon as I can finish this eye primer, I'm gonna buy the other one because it was honestly really good, really good. I really enjoyed it. The one that I didn't care for, it wasn't bad, was the illuminating primer. It looked very glittery on the little thing, so I was like nervous that it was gonna be like actual glitters on my face. It wasn't. It was definitely more diffused. Like there was like this lights, like I guess sparkle you could say here and here, or like from time to time, but like it wasn't crazy. It didn't do much for me. But overall, actually, I'm just glad to get this little sample size over and decided to end up buying two of the full, two out of the three, and I decided I want to buy the full size of. So overall, Miss Selena Gomez, it was a good idea to give it to me because I had decided to buy full size items, and I don't think if I hadn't tried them, I would have never gone looking for them because I was content with what I had. I actually do still enjoy the Milani one, but I have noticed that as I'm aging a little bit, I'm finding a little bit more creasing on my eyelids, and I did notice there was significantly less creasing with this, and I don't have to actually set it. Unless I want to, of course, which honestly I probably should because I have a lot of like setting lid shades that I need to go through. But overall, I'm glad to get at least one empty out. And I'll put another something else in instead. But yeah. All right, I've been rambling. I feel like let's go over some of the products. This is the one that's technically not in the project, but it was technically in the project. If I can say that, like I showed it to you guys at the intro. I'm working on it, but like not really. This is what I have left. I don't think you can actually see any changes. I actually used it quite a bit. I think I used it like 5 or 6 times in the last month, which doesn't sound like a lot. But I actually didn't use it much the first half of the month, and it was towards the end of the month that I was trying to get an rhythm where I was making sure to pull it out. So I did actually, I'm hoping to see it go progress in February. So we'll see. It's technically not in the project, so no pressure on me. No pressure. The other one is Under Construct. I actually did end up using it a couple of times, even though technically I wasn't supposed to. I actually do have a dip, and I'm not sure if you guys can see, but I feel like I can see this slight indentation. I don't know that I'm saying that right. I feel like I can kind of see the pan a little bit, just like right there. Maybe just like the shadowing. But I do really, really love this blush. Like I said, I haven't focused in on it as much because I've been trying to finish what's left of this blush right here, which has just this little bit right here, has a little bit right here, and then a little bit right here. So I'm almost done with this one. So I think I have only a couple uses left. As soon as I'm done with this, I will be all over this one because I love this blush. I love this blush so much. But even though I wasn't supposed to use it, I used it like 6 times. So like it got good use for me, even though it technically wasn't supposed to. This bronzer actually got good use for me, even though I wasn't using the foundation, the powder foundation. I actually still ended up using like 5-6 times. So I used it more than I used the foundation. Even when I was wearing this one, I was making sure to reach for this powder one. I mean, I've been able to like see the rim of the pan for literally months and not seeing the actual pan. So let's see how long that takes. But those two, this one should be gone pretty soon, and then I'll be able to really focus on under construction. So I give it a week, and then with this one, we're almost there. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we've got. Oh, let's do these, I guess. I actually did use them. I ended up sharpening both of them. I used this one like once or twice. Yeah, no, this one's a little too light for me. But I don't think you can actually see a lot of progress in here because I did already mark it. But here you go. Like, see, there's not a lot of progress. There you go in it. Even though I you know what? It's not like 'cause I used it because y'all know I don't like this color. So the fact that I even used it 2 times is more than I've used it in like months. So let's just try to keep that, like, my whole process, like, use it enough where I have to sharpen it at least once a month, preferably twice. I feel like if I'm able to sharpen it twice a month, I actually would be able to get through this at a relatively good pace. But if at least I can do it once, I can't complain. Same thing with my Urban Decay actually liner. I actually did end up having to sharpen it once. It's super tiny. But here is where we're at. It's just a small progress, really not a lot. But I'm just happy there is progress and I did get to sharpen it. So I'm hoping to, same mentality. If I can sharpen it once or twice a month, that's a win. I've been really doing a good job of like putting it in my waterline, and honestly it takes a lot of uses to get to the point where you need to sharpen it. If you only use it like that, you really have to like put it in your actual skin. So I've been trying to make a point of using it in my actual skin once or twice a month, or at least that's the goal, and so I can get to sharpen it at least once a month, if not twice a month. That's the whole goal. So there's that. Let's go with lip products. You guys kind of see all that. Ghosted honestly only got used like twice by me, so there was super minimal change. I'm not sure you guys can see that there, like super minimal change. I think I put the line slightly above where it actually is, but at least it got used. I do, and I think the issue with Ghosted is that I actually haven't done that many pink looks because I've been trying to finish that very peachy warm blush. So as soon as I can actually transition into this under construction, I might be able to, you know, work something out a little bit better. And these two work really well together. So there's that. And then the last one's on display. I actually wore all red lips like 3 times this last month. And I think you can see there's a slightly better, there you go. There's a slightly better progress on this red lip that there is on the other one. So not concerned and not mad about it at all. My whole goal is to just try to keep using my reds as much as possible. I've been wearing a lot of neutral colors to work. Okay, what else we got? I think that's everything. Okay. So goals, predictions, what can we see actually get rolled out on this project? Honestly, a lot of these things seems like it's gonna take a little while. The best thing that we can hope for at this time, I feel like, is this little primer, because it is kind of like here. So I feel like I might be able to finish it next month actually, because I didn't use it every single time I did my makeup this last month. So I think I'm gonna start doing that. Even if I'm not putting foundation on, I'm still gonna put the primer on, and hopefully we'll see some good progress with this, and maybe I can try to finish it by next month. Because honestly, next month, except for my little like travel size stuff, this is probably gonna be the only thing that gets rolled out. So that being said, I think I'm gonna try to put the goal of finishing this. I'm not gonna put any goals or anything else here because I just don't think I can do it. So this is the only thing I'm gonna prioritize this next month. And then obviously we need to put something else in since we rolled this out, and I figured this is probably gonna be my best bet. Is just you have to take the little sticker off and use however much product it comes in. I don't want to open it because I'm not really sure. It comes in the shade Gifted and Lively. Let's see, what does Gifted look like? Gifted. So Gifted looks like a deep plum nude shade, and Lively looks like a more peachy pink kind of shade. This one right here. Sorry, no, this one right here. So Lively's this one, and then Gifted. So this is the 2 shades that I'm supposed to be working with. This should be done. This one should be done. But that's about everything I had for you guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.